Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Thank you, Prema Gopal. Hare Krishna. Thank you, everyone, for coming tonight. I suspect we might get even more people, so we want everyone to scoot forward as close as possible. We don't need any paths anymore. Just come all the way in, as close as possible, as close as possible, as close as possible. And tonight will be one of those rare events where I won't rush anybody. I won't push the schedule. We've already lost it an hour and a half ago. It's well in the past. But tonight we have visiting us His Holiness Radhanath Swami. He's a devotee of Krishna. He's an author. He's a teacher and a guide to people all over the world, and many of you in this room. And tonight he will speak. He will speak about these 6 Goswamis, perhaps Jiva Goswami in particular, or as the Spirit takes him, as he said. And then he'll lead a little kirtan, and then we'll serve out dinner prasadam in this room, all sitting down, and maybe even in the Krishna lounge we'll serve out dinner prasadam. He also has his books here, and so back there, Sachidulal standing there, there's a small little table there with the journey within and the journey home. So also, afterward you can take a book from there. There may be opportunities to sign the books, correct? As time allows. And that's all I'll say. Hare Krishna.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Jamuna Thira Banachari Jamuna Thira Banachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Om Agyantimidandasya Gyananjana Chalakaya Chakshurun Militam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Jodha Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanditam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Safadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakanbitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vansha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patithanam Bhavanibhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhar, Srivasati Gaura Bhakta-vrinda, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya, Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale, Srimate Bhakti Vedanta, Swami Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve, Gauravani Pracharine, Nirvishesha Shunyavadi, Astatyadeshatadine. Hare Krishna. I am sincerely grateful, honored, and very happy to be with you this evening. Thank you for giving your precious time to come to this very sacred place of the temple of Sri Sri Radha Giridhari. I first came on a pilgrimage to this temple in the year 1979. And since that time, I've come many times on the invitation of His Holiness Sri HH Radhanath Swami Maharaj. And this is the first time I've ever come here without being welcomed by His benevolent, gracious, and merciful heart. When I first came here, it was Bhaji Narayan Maharaj and Gunagrahi Swami Maharaj. They had both completely dedicated their lives, their bodies, their minds, their words to making this a beautiful place of pilgrimage where people could come to experience the presence of Srila Prabhupada. When through the teachings of Srila Prabhupada and feeling His divine grace, people could actually, truly be in the presence of Sri Sri Radha Giridhari. We were discussing for the last so many hours how Bhaji Narayan Maharaj, he was involved in very crucial issues to protect, to inspire Lord Chaitanya's movement all over the world. Because with his humble and caring heart, he cared so deeply for the purity, the authenticity, the sustainability, and the integrity of this great movement of Lord Chaitanya and Srila Prabhupada. He was remarkably courageous and bold. But it was always with this spirit. So many of you have heard so many of his classes. When he would describe the nature and the condition of this material world around us and the way people treat each other and the way people exploit and are confused in how to deal with the environment, the problems of life, all the inevitable differences we have. He would speak in ways that were so humorous. They made you laugh at the ridiculousness of the materialistic perspective of life in forgetfulness of God. At Bhaktivedanta Hospital, we have so many surgical operation rooms where the doctors cut you open. But along with that, they have the anesthesiologist. You don't actually feel it. So Badri Narayan Maharaj was really like a surgeon. He would reveal the sufferings, the miseries, the confusions of material life and what was going on within our own minds and hearts, but with the anesthesia of humor. We'd be laughing while the surgery was taking place. Because he really cared. And we were discussing a few minutes ago how when Srila Prabhupada departed from this world, Badri Narayan Maharaj, Gunagrahi Maharaj, our beloved His Grace Madhusudan Prabhu, was also departed from this world, from this temple. What was their condition? Everyone was more or less a new devotee by today's standards. How many people have been associating with devotees for more than 7 years? Please raise your hands. Well, when Srila Prabhupada left this world, that is the only amount of time I was associating. And I joined earlier than most people. But in that feeling of the vacuum of the physical presence of Srila Prabhupada, who we could always depend on to resolve all the issues that would come before us, who we just anticipated at every moment that he would be coming and he would be pleased by what we were doing. In separation, Srila Prabhupada taught us there is a necessity that in order to spiritually survive and keep the presence of these great souls in our hearts, we must really take shelter. Take shelter of his books, his teachings, his example, and take shelter of each other. Those people who have opened their hearts to let Srila Prabhupada live in. And that same principle is there in our parampara. When a great person leaves us, in the pang of separation, with the tears of our love, there's a sense of great necessity. We have to find them deeper within our hearts. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu inquired from Srila Ramananda Rai about what is the greatest suffering, he replied, to be without the association of devotees is the only suffering I know. In Srila Prabhupada's last phase of his pastimes in this world, he shared the idea, the instruction, that you could show your love for me by how you cooperate to carry on this great mission. When we're sharing Krishna consciousness, when we're sharing the spirit of Bhadri Narayan Maharaj, Gunagrahi Maharaj, Madhusudan Prabhu, and all these great devotees of Srila Prabhupada, we are actually in their presence, and they are with us. Because the love we feel for someone is where we actually connect with them. And in Bhakti, in true Dharma, that love is not based on just physical or emotional interactions. This pujari has opened up the curtains for we could see and feel the presence of Radha Giridhari. And in the association of devotees, we help each other to open those curtains to actually see Krishna within our hearts, within the hearts of other Vaishnavas. Dravida Prabhu, my Dandavad pranams to you. Thank you for coming and blessing us. But Srila Prabhupada spoke that if you're chanting Hare Krishna and I'm chanting Hare Krishna, we will always be together. And he said these words when devotees were asking, when you do leave this world, how will we continue? He said, if you are chanting Hare Krishna and I am chanting Hare Krishna, we will always be together. When we put Krishna in the center of our relationships with one another, and the most powerful, simple, and effective ways of doing that is to actually take shelter of the names of Krishna. In Sankirtan, our hearts are meant to be united by being absorbed in keeping Krishna between us. And Srila Prabhupada didn't just say this in a figurative, symbolic way. He was speaking a spiritual truth. If you are chanting Hare Krishna and I am chanting Hare Krishna, we'll always be together. Did you ever see a Zoom link on the internet? Basically, what is a link? Anasuya Devi, you can explain all these things scientifically. I only know it's, you just press a button and all of a sudden you're in this world with so many people talking to each other. We're all together. Some are in India, some are in Australia, some are in Africa, some are in Russia. Some are right next door, but we haven't seen them in years. And people are in different time zones too. You know, one person it's morning, another person it's night. But we're all together because we're all, if you click a different link, you'll be with different people. Golokera Premadana Harinam Sankirtan. The names of Krishna, they connect us to Sri Radha and Krishna. And when we're connected to Sri Radha and Krishna, what is it called in Zoom? A gallery? Where we actually could see each other? We know that Srila Prabhupada, we know that Bhadre Narayan Maharaj, Gunagrahi Maharaj, and Madhusudan Prabhu, and we know that Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami and Jiva Goswami. We know all of these acharyas. We know the Panchatattva of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu. They're all chanting Hare Krishna forever. And if we actually become absorbed and linking in to that energy, to that reality, we're actually all, we're together. The idea of unity and diversity goes beyond birth and death in this world. It's beyond any geographic, beyond time. And when we're feeling separation from Shri Radha Giridhari, when we're feeling separation from Srila Prabhupada, our gurus, there's a sense of a deep necessity. Now, if you don't have a good Wi-Fi connection, then however many times you press that link, it just doesn't work. But that's what a devotee community is meant to do. Create an atmosphere where we can actually help each other to really absorb ourselves in making that connection. Putting Krishna in the center. Putting Srila Prabhupada's teachings in the center. Putting what we know will please our gurus and the Vaishnavas, putting that in the center. Sometimes Srila Prabhupada would say, there has never been a moment when he was not feeling the presence of his Guru Maharaj. Because he was always trying to carry out his will. And that is the beauty of what a devotee community is meant to be. There's so many reasons to disagree, so many issues to fight about, because we're all unique. And Kali Yuga is an age of quarrel and hypocrisy. Srila Prabhupada would say in Kali Yuga, even the most intimate friends and family members will turn against each other and even try to hurt each other if they feel that this person is challenging my self-interest. He said, people will fight if you even just touch their hair. We're laughing because that seems insignificant. But the things that people are fighting about, really, for a devotee, they have practically no more significance than touching a hair. When we help each other to focus on what's really important, putting Krishna in the center means putting what pleases Krishna in the center of our lives. And sing Samsiddhir Haritosha. Everything else is relatively so unimportant. The divisions in the world today over proprietorship of land, over ideologies, theologies, greed, politics, we are living in the United States of America. And Srila Prabhupada himself, he would warn us by citing that very well-known phrase. And he was talking about our movement too. He said, united we stand, divided we fall. And he gave the example of that fable where if you tie many sticks together, no one can break it. But if you take each stick outside separately, they easily break. So of course, we must be united on what is truth, what is real. But in the world we live, sometimes we're just so interested in this influence of trying to prove ourselves right and being so insecure about our position. We fight over details, thinking they're so ultimate. So what does it mean to put Krishna in the center? Yasya prasada bhagavat prasada. We put the will of our gurus as in the center. And that's the great challenge. And Srila Prabhupada gave his life, and his beloved disciples have given their lives to provide a community within this world where we could actually find shelter of Krishna in the center of our lives. But as the Bible tells, Lord Jesus, he states, seek and ye shall find. We must really help each other to seek that essence. And I'm feeling this in a very, very, very deep way today, being among all of you in Radha Giridhari's temple, in a temple that I believe was established by His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, and who has been faithfully serving, developing a community here. Practically his whole life. I was asked to speak something about Jiva Goswami. Jiva Goswami was the nephew of Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami. His father was Anupam, who was a very, very great devotee, who passed away when he was just a child. And Jiva Goswami, he left home. It's a beautiful story. But he left home and went to Navadvip, and there he met Srila Nityananda Prabhu. And Nityananda Prabhu gave him an entire tour of Navadvip Dham. Navadvip Dham Parikrama. He brought him to the holy places of Navadvip, historic, and the places that he personally witnessed Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu performing his leelas, pastimes. And after completely blessing Jiva Goswami, Nityananda Prabhu told him that Lord Chaitanya has given Vrindavan to your family, so you should go there. Shri Radha Giridhari ki jai. And I was told to end at 8:30, but then I heard the announcement that there was no schedule tonight. So I will try to balance both of those. Jiva Goswami, under Lord Nityananda's instruction, he went to Varanasi and he studied Vedas, Vedanta, from the greatest of scholars. And he actually was established by the greatest Pandits as the greatest among the scholars. And then he went to Vrindavan. And he lived with Sri Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami. Now, traditionally in many places of the world, but especially in India, even today, what to speak of then, an aunt was a mother. An uncle was a father. And a cousin was a brother. That was the closeness of families. I often reflect on years ago I was in Kurukshetra, and there was a joint family where there were 5 brothers, and their wives, and they all had children, usually 1 to 4 children. And the children's grandparents were there, and they're all living in the same house. But it was a pretty big house. And when they would invite me, they really had nice prasad. But after prasad, they had a big room, and they asked me to give a talk about Krishna and then have Kirtan. And everyone in the family was 3 generations. And grandchildren, there was a lot. And I remember one day I asked the grandchildren, which among these people is your mother and father? And they all said the same thing, all of them. They all love it. We don't make distinctions like in America, aunties, uncles. They're all our mothers and fathers because they all treat us as their own children. And that's the way the love is shared. So Jiva Goswami, Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami, they were both his fathers, his gurus. He accepted both of them as his gurus. He gave up everything in this world to go to Vrindavan, to serve them, to live with them, to carry on their mission. When Sanatana Goswami left this world, and then Rupa Goswami left this world, and Raghunath Bhatta Goswami had left the world, and after some time Raghunath Das Goswami, Gopal Bhatta Goswami left the world. The intimacy of their friendship, the depth of guru-disciple relationships he had with all of them. It's quite unimaginable. Narottam Das Thakur, when he sings about departed Vaishnavas, Jaya Nilo Prema Dana, he describes as, when I think about them, I smash my head against a rock in separation. But he's feeling their presence so deeply in that separation. So these great personalities, they are completely transcendental to this material world. But their bhakti, their love, is very much a tangible revelation of how they treat each other on this worldly level. With such kindness, with such respect, with such affection, with such compassion. So Jiva Goswami, in the separation of Rupa and Sanatan, his fathers, his gurus, his guides, his deepmost friends, how he carried on and expanded their mission to do their will. And in this way, the most intimate connection was always there. And this may sound somewhat theoretical in our state of consciousness, but in the association of devotees, when we remind each other to actually link in through absorbing ourselves and pleasing the Lord and chanting the holy names of the Lord. We could actually all be united and all be together. So these are some reflections I'm having this evening here at Radha Giridhari's temple. And I'm so grateful to have this opportunity to be with you. When we lose someone we love, the pain of the loss is a blessing. When we actually celebrate the joy of gratitude, not only to have been with such a person, but in remembrance to be with that person. Thank you very much. Please. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharade Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Vasjata Deshatharane. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Please stand up. And as you're chanting, raise your arms into the sky. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Jai Prabhupada, Nitai go, Hari go, Hari go. Gaura Premanande. Hari Haraye Nama, Krishna Yadavaya Nama. Hari Haraye Nama, Krishna Yadavaya Nama. Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha. Gopal Govinda Ram Sri Madhusudana. Gopal Govinda Ram Sri Madhusudana. Giridhari Gopinatha Madana Mohana. Giridhari Gopinath Madana Mohana. Sri Chaitanya Nityananda Sri Advaita Sita. Sri Chaitanya Nityananda Sri Advaita Sita. Adi Guru Vaishnava Bhagavad Gita. Adi Guru Vaishnava Bhagavad Gita. Sri Rupa Sanatana Bhata Raghunatha. Sri Rupa Sanatana Bhata Raghunatha. Sri Jiva Gopala Bhata Dasa Raghunatha. Sri Jiva Gopala Bhata Dasa Raghunatha. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Radha Giridhari, Radha Giridhari, Radhe. Jaya Radha Giridhari, Radha Giridhari, Radhe. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namo. Thank you very much.